and welcome again to Damascus. I decided to make another video actually from the same location, and yes, I have something to show you again, and that's the 500 lira note, which is still in circulation, but it's kind of it's harder to find actually. It's not so much used commonly, but it's possible to find it at the exchange places. So yes, I got a bundle of them because the whole bundle is worth like $5, so I guess I just keep it. And yeah, it's quite nice. You have this, well, it's actually like some, I think, imaginable, how do you call it? Imaginary painting based on some sort of inscription, and it was about the first musical note. That's why it's called the oldest musical note. Yes. Yeah, otherwise the features are the same. It was printed in Russia, and there's only one date, 2013, and yes, that's it. And of course they printed like a few billion of them. From the serial number you can see it. Yes. And that thing in the front is the Opera of Damascus. Actually I drove by there. It's next to Umayyad Square, but yeah, nothing too special. And yes, so let's talk a bit about how's the situation right now in Damascus. And as you see here, everything is kind of normal. This is the big thing in the back, this almost like this weird tower, like on the back. This is the Four Seasons, and behind it on the mountain, that's actually the presidential palace. I tried to go there, but it was not possible. We drove there with a taxi, but they didn't let us in. It was already closed off. And well, there's a new sort of ruler of Syria, which is now Jolani and the Al-Qaeda gangs, and well, they control that place now. And yes, so let's talk about like the general situation in Damascus. As you see here, like there's a lot of life in the streets, like everything is going on normally. Also in that direction, towards there's the old town and market. And there's a strong wind these days. And you see life is going on normally. And the thing is, there's not even, you barely see any like sort of police. There's almost no police on the streets. And you see like mostly you just see like normal sort of traffic police, which are just waving around cars, and rarely there's some like normal police cars from the, it's written like Salvation Government. So basically the one who was already controlling Idlib for a lot of years, they now, they're the sort of army for like the biggest cities of Syria, Damascus, Homs, Hama, Aleppo, and even the coast as well, but there's some other things going on. And yes, but in general I can tell you, after a few days in Damascus, it feels very safe compared to the situation, because still they don't really have like functioning state institutions. It's just like actually this small sort of militia force being and this type of Jolani army and this Idlib provisional government being in control. But for some reason it seems enough to keep things from being totally chaotic and from the security situation being really bad. Actually, I have to say it's really good. The security situation, at least in the center of Damascus and even at night. Like yesterday, I was walking around in the night, coming from Old Town, and I kind of got lost. I ended up in some other neighborhoods, and I walked like for 3 kilometers back. And yes, everything was normal, like normal life going on, even in the night on the streets. There was like women, children alone outside, lots of shops open, normal traffic, everything. And so the situation is quite good in Damascus security wise in general, but of course for sure there is for sure crime, probably a lot of it, but you don't feel it, you don't feel unsafe. I guess there's much unsafer places in, I don't know, Latin America or something, even in the US. I guess it's less safe than Damascus. And so that shows also how less government is actually needed, or people are brainwashed into believing that we need government to manage all areas of life or something, but people kind of govern themselves in everyday life. And so I have a theory that basically the situation is tough, like economically, so yeah, people have to work a lot to survive. And in general, yeah, people here are in the Middle East, also here, they do business and they know how to do business and they're good at it, and they don't want to have problems with their business, and it's kind of in everyone's interest. So from what I'm seeing, I can just imagine, like, if someone tries to steal something or rob someone, the mob, like the people around, they would interfere and they would catch them and punish them, because I think it's some sort of self-enforcing equilibrium where people just want things to be normal, to have business as usual, and yes, that's how they kind of enforce it. Like everyone behaves, it seems. Although I saw like some kids running around and trying to steal stuff, but immediately they catch them and settle them. And also, for the fact that this is now, it's still like a war zone, Syria, but nobody carries guns on the street except like this one militia, like this HTS people. But otherwise, nobody else is having guns, and apparently it's not needed. And like there's also like nobody's even like carrying like knives or something like that, which is the normal thing now in Germany and Western countries. So yes, that's pleasantly surprising. So well, like theoretically, I can recommend tourists to come to visit at least Damascus. Right now, things are fine here. You can visit as a tourist, no problem. And even though I really stick out, like literally, I haven't seen any other Western tourist except one Canadian woman. I was told there are tourists, but I don't see them. Like literally, I haven't seen any of them. So, and for what you get here in terms of like history, without all the mass tourism, it's absolutely amazing how much preserved, amazing history, culture you have here, especially in Damascus. and yeah, it's totally absolutely worth it. And right now also there's still no visa fee. Well, at least in our case, like we didn't pay anything at the border, but they were, actually not that amused to see like Western tourists just coming, at least these like HTS people. And especially they don't want to have journalists, or at least they want to control them. They don't want them to walk around freely that much. Because they asked us if we are press and everything, but yes, no, I just said normal tourists and just going to Damascus, and that's okay. I guess also they're a bit nervous because there is like there was the sectarian massacres happening, like thousands of people got killed on the coast, mostly otherwise, but also Christians, and there's still stuff like that happening, like incidences. And yes, but here in the old town Damascus, things are kind of okay. Like for the Christians, like for example, yesterday I was in the old town and there was like church masses going on, and the church was full of people, at least for like one church, Melkite. And yes, but otherwise also I heard there's like kidnappings going on of especially like women, like I think Christian or maybe also other sects, but yeah. So of course it's not very safe, but it's safe enough for tourists to just move around freely in the old town. If you go a bit outside, like immediately after you go outside, like the old town city walls, and you end up almost in Duma or Guta, then yes, things look very dodgy, and then of course you stick out a bit too much. But otherwise, if you just walk around here on these streets, people are even not like checking you out that much, or like literally I have the feeling like everyone is just minding their own business, and they're not even, like, it's not even normal that they talk to you. Like everyone just minds their own business, and they just, I think it's also from the past. I think that's how Syrians are kind of conditioned because of the dictatorship. Yeah? Like you don't want to mind, you have to mind your own business and that stuff, and I think that's still going on. But yeah, they mix it quite well. To be honest, like Syria, visiting Syria as a tourist is 10 times, 100 times better than Egypt. To me, Egypt was absolutely horrible. How you are treated as a tourist there. Yeah, in general, that's what mass tourism does. Yeah, you're just an ATM then. And yeah, but here is, in terms of prices and everything, like they're quite honest. Like most of the time they tell you the real price, and if they cheat you for like 50 cents or $1 or something. But yes, in general people are very nice and welcoming, and even honest. Yeah, so yeah, that's it for now from Damascus, and see you again somewhere else.